And we are ready for the season to begin. Caleb and Bob here with the national anthem. Let's get it going here for game one. Got Strome and Chikrin on the ice here. Not actually sure on the starting roster for this game. Ovi, TVR, Strome, the Strome center, Ovi, probably on the right. We'll see. We got Protus also on the wing here, and TVR and Chikrin at the back. And is that Thompson or Lingren in net? Swayman's in net for Boston. Logan. 31, 6 and 6 last season. 0.91 save percentage is pretty good going. Ovi getting ready for the center draw on the right hand side. And we are underway in DC. The first game of the regular season. Ovi with it in the center here, and it's already in the Boston bench. 7 seconds in. One of those seasons, isn't it? That's what it's gonna be. Chicken with it in the decent. TVR here. Tipped ahead into the offensive zone by Protus. Boston in the central zone here. Dumps in. Behind the net. Up on the boards, Strome trying to dig it. They clear it all the way down, just wide. No icing. Boston playing it behind the net. Playing very slow. They dump it all the way down onto Thompson, who covers it as Geeky, I think, there is trying to stir something up early. As you can see, got the Screaming Eagle jersey today. Not sure how well you can see it, but TJ Oshie on it. Obviously, we don't have him anymore, unfortunately, but he is with the crew still. PLD working through into the corner. Ferravari on the boards, wrapped around for shot on for McMichael there. Across the blue line. Blocked out, and it might be almost had a rush there, and Carlson comes across. There's a penalty, a bit of shoving and pushing. Not sure who the penalty is actually on, to be fair. Wilson seems to just be on the ice, so I don't know what exactly transpired. I'm not sure if we'll get a better view of this now. Okay, so it's Pasternak holding or hooking, one or the other. I'm not sure which on. Yeah, hooking penalty there. So power play, less than 2 minutes in here. Ovi getting ready in his usual spot. It's dumped all the way back down to the Caps end. Logan collects it behind his net. PLD driving through the center to Strome, back to PLD, centers it on the backhand of Ovi there. Or if it was on his forehand, he would have pulled that trigger. Strome with it to not Ovi, Carlson there, sorry. It's in the corner now. Boston tried to clear it. It stays in. Across the blue line. Up on the boards. Ovi with it in the corner. Sends it in front. It goes on net. Was not covered at all there. A lot of loose change there. A few chops at it there. Ryan Leonard on for his first shift of the season here on the power play. Don't know if the young line of them is on. Protus sends it back to Chikrin, who's driving it in on the right hand side now. Drops it back for Ferravari. Protus with it, back to Ferravari. Protus puts it on. It's loose. Chikrin tried to chop at it, but Swayman got onto it in time. Obviously, we see what Protus did last season. I think he is top 3, I think it was, in the end, of where he ended up placing on the plus minus. Sandine sends it around the boards. Cap's still with it in the end. Behind the net, Leonard picks it up. Being jostled with it, though. McMichael to Sandine. Sends it in front for Leonard. Shoots off the pad. Bounced out. Sandine collects it in the centre and they send it back in. Ryan Leonard on the left-hand side here. Lindholm intercepts it, puts it all the way back down to the Caps end as the Caps power play runs out here. Caps moving through the Caps intercepted. Boston here, 2 on poke check from Wilson. He got in a bit of a headlock from Middlestad there. Carlson taking it round the net. Bouvillier there to pick it up. Spin move from Wilson. And it's a 4-on-2 for the Caps here. Lapierre tries to centre it. Ferravari bumps into the Boston player. It goes towards the net, but goes wide. Boston holding it behind the net. They play it out. Stretch pass. Intercepted by Sandin. And they put it back into Boston's zone. Dowd here. Picks it up in front. Tries to stuff it in. Intercepted it in the blue paint there. Almost snuck it by. Almost a little sneaky goal there by Dowd for the first Washington goal. Very close one. Rolled off Lindholm's stick and almost resulted in a goal there. Carried it through the blue paint. Almost went 5-hole on his own goalie there. Dowd didn't even do anything. Dowd was just in the vicinity. Lindholm almost put it in his own net through Swayman's legs. That almost ended terribly for Boston there. And they're having some issues with the camera here. It'll be interesting when we actually get back to see what's going on, because we actually don't have a clue what's currently going on the ice. Are we getting it sorted? I'm not sure if we are or not. Got a different view of it while they sort out this. Watching a different view of it instead of TNT. Yeah, he tried to play it in front of Swayman there. Rolled off the end of his stick and almost just went 5-0 straight into the back of the net. That would have been a terrible start for Boston. But after Boston's season last season, could well happen. Good Lord. Yeah, Lindholm's not played since November last year. Almost been a year since he's been out. Caps bring it back into the zone here as Boston fall over with the puck. Playing behind the net. Boston come up with the puck off the boards. Cross the ice. Matt Roy's there to pick up. Sandin with it, having some trouble on the boards here. Dowding to help out. Duhaime also there, helping out. And we'll reset behind our net while everyone's changing. Matt Roy just holding it behind goalie there. Strome through the centre. Tries to dub it off the glass, and I think it ends up in Boston's bench yet again. Yes, it does. Almost took the backup goalie out there. It very almost went in. That was a puck between the puck and the goal line there. That would almost snuck through. That would not have been an ideal start there for Boston at all. We'll grab a drink here. Got a mini fridge down here, as you can see just there. We'll go with a Fanta fruit twister. Can't go wrong with it. One of those bad boys. Not actually 100% sure on what the roster is for the Caps here. I will take a quick look. Let's have a quick look. Roster for tonight. OV, Protus, Bouvillier, Duhaime, Michael Strome, Lapierre, Chikrin Carlson, Sordif, Ferravari, Roy Dowd, Pierre-Luc Dubois, Rasmus Sandin, Ryan Leonard, Tom Wilson, Charan Reemsdyk, and Logan in net. Bruins have Peaky, Mittelstadt, McAvoy, Pasternak, Lindholm, Minton, Lindholm, Swayman, Zaka, Zadorov, Geeky, Swayman, obviously. Hopefully this isn't Ovi's last season, but if it is, we'll find out probably halfway through. I reckon he'll probably sign an extension, but it'll probably just be like a 1 or 2 years. He loves the game. He'll play back in Russia regardless for Dynamo Moscow. Well, interference penalty against Washington. It's on TVR here. It's a bit of a light call. He got in the way, but a bit of an embellishment, but I have to play to the whistle and what the ref calls is final, so penalty here. Power play for Boston. Cycling it well on the boards, playing it across. A shot comes in, it goes wide. Duhaime tries to intercept. The cycling once more. Pasternak sends it across. Beautiful diving attempt there. Just think the shot went wide anyway, but I think Thompson would have had it covered regardless. McAvoy loses it off his stick and it exits the zone here. And we pick it up in our own end, waste a bit of time, get the changes, and send it all the way down behind Swayman. Boston picking it up now. Moving through the centre. Drop it back to enter. And it's picked up by the Caps again. Try to clear it out. It gets caught. And it's pinballing around loads of players now that can't fully get possession. A shot comes out. A beautiful pass from Boston. And it just stays out. Thompson keeps it out. And they clear it all the way down. Could have been a very dangerous play. We got the original back up now. Lapierre to take the defensive draw. We know what he can do in preseason, having 7 points. All assists as well, may I add. A bit of a playmaker. Had multiple options to try and get one in. Caps trying to send it long now. Behind the net, sends towards the crease. Off the stick, rebounds out. Behind the net now. Caps still fighting up on the boards. Bouvillier pushes it round. Roy takes a big hit. Boston with it behind their own net now. They exit the zone and dump it down the Caps end. Chikrin moving through the mid-zone. Silky move through the center, passes 2 Boston players. It's up on the boards now in the Boston end. Protus catches it mid-air but can't get it on his stick. Almost had a 3-on-2 right in close there. It's sent down, comes off Protus' stick, so no icing. Shot on. Logan saves it. And a video break to come. Not a lot happening. Still trying to find the feet to everyone here in this first game of the season. Want us to see what the Caps can do. Obviously, they had a breakout season last season. We know what they are capable of. It's not actually that many changes. Obviously, we lost a couple big third, fourth liners that had done us quite well. Magiapane being one of them. We've got Sordif now. We've got all our main guys. We just gotta find our groove, see how we can work through this next season. Right. Spoke a bit of that. We don't talk about that one. Right. Let's see what the Caps have got so far. Ryan Leonard and Wilson and Chickham with 3 shots on goal so far. For the Bruins, we've got Lindholm and Sean Crowley with the shots on goal for them. Only 5 shots through the first 10 minutes. 34 here. Offensive draw here. Shot from Pasta. The flex off. Not sure who it was, but one of the Caps players ended up going all the way down to the Boston end. Boston send it all the way down. It will be an icing. Marco Strum on the bench for Boston here. Caps keep it in the zone. Passes it across. Wilson almost got it across. It didn't connect on the stick. Wilson collects it again. Lost out. Pierre-Luc Dubois really rushing on him there. Behind Caps net now. Fighting for it. Carlson loses out. Goes towards the net. We get possession in our own zone. Both getting changes. Ferravari, that was, sorry. Sends it all the way in. Boston coming through the central zone into the zone. Tried to get a shot off. The beautiful defense closing down there. Blocking that shot. And an icing against the Caps here. Still finding our groove in this game. But that's how the start of the season goes. We've not really had our full roster play in the preseason, at least not together. So we're trying to get it together here. Boston with it in their own zone. Cross ice pass. Cross ice pass again. Plays it in. Beautiful work. Driving the net. It goes just wide. Boston almost with their first there. Working out here is the Caps. Tries to play it across. Gets hit into the boards. Lapierre there. Zadorov closing down the space. 4 players fighting at the blue line here. Caps come up with it. Cross-ice pass goes out the zone. Bickering plays it in. Duhaime picks it up, tries to put it in front, fighting behind the net. That's a definite tripping penalty there, nothing called. Duhaime was clearly tripped in that play, but nothing happened from it. Caps working it. Tries to send it around the net. They keep it in for now. And it goes out. Putting it back in now, and Dowd is knocked down, and an interference call against Boston here. It's stirring up here against Boston for the first game of the season. Pirelli is going to the box for interference here. Bit of a bump before against Dowd, and then Corrali just comes back and hits him. Bit of a leg trip sort of interference, but interference nonetheless. Power play coming up here. The stream is a bit dodgy here from TNT. Boston win that face-off. There's a 1-on-1 for Boston coming here. Shoots, blocker to the side. And Caps will get ready here. In their own zone. Carlson plays it back. Cross. Cleared in by Ovechkin. Swayman with it behind the net. Boston fighting in the corner with it now. PLD with it. Plays it back to Carlson. Passes it to Strome. To Ovechkin. One times it. Goes wide. Carlson keeps it in just on the blue line. PLD here with it on the boards. Plays it all the way around. Carlson picks it up. Plays it in. Shoots short side. Swayman collects it though. Some good cycling here. First penalty. Oh, he tried to play it across the Dubois actually. Deflects off McAvoy's skates and ends up almost going 5-hole. And then a high stick on Dubois, which wasn't called as well there. I feel like the first one is going to be a bit of a muffin. A holding penalty, surely a holding penalty on Chikrin there. A one-time from Ovechkin. And the stream's dodgy again. Caps with it in their own zone now. TNT stream is horrendous. Caps working it through the center. Chikrin plays it in. Beautiful Michael playing it through the legs but doesn't get enough on it. Chikrin along the blue line. Plays it across. Puts on. Ovechkin in front. In the air. Ovechkin can't get a glove on it to get it down onto his stick. Protus with it. On the boards. And the stream's a bit funny. Oh. And obviously the TNT stream is horrendous right now. And Geeky coming up now to Lindholm. Plays it back. A beautiful save by Thompson. Whoa. From his left side all the way into the right. Thompson's now... Thompson just made a save while facing into his net. Not quite sure how he managed to get that one. Dowd with it. Caps in their zone still. Boston trying to get possession. Boston clear it all the way down. Jumps the stick there of the Caps player. And we'll reset in our zone. Paravari circles. They'll reset once more. Lapierre tries to get the mark. It's blocked. 3-on-3 coming the other way. A beautiful save there by the pad of Thompson. And they gloved again down by Thompson from a long-range shot from the blue line. McAvoy with a good chance there. I will be right back momentarily. Whether he opts to go down that route at a later date is, well, up to him on what he decides, really. We'll see if there's anything going on around the rest of the league. I'm not 100% sure if there is or not. I will have a quick look. Obviously, we've had a few games go already in the season. Let's have a look. So obviously we had Panthers beating the Blackhawks 3-2. It was a good game, to be fair. Rangers struggling against the Penguins 3-0 to Pens. Avalanche beat the Kings 4-1. Then ended the first, the Leafs versus the Canadians. That's currently 1-1. And then Caps Bruins, also a 0-0 game. Do also have Kings versus the Knights, Oilers Flames later, so some good games later today in a couple hours. Probably when this game finishes, those will be up. Tomorrow, very packed tomorrow. We got a 14-game schedule tomorrow. Wowee. Got Red Wings versus Canadians, Panthers Flyers, Lightning Sens, Pens Isles, Sabres Rangers, Bruins Hawks, Jets Stars, Hurricane Devils, Preds Blue Jackets, Blues Wild, Kraken versus the Ducks, Sharks versus Golden Knights, Canucks Flames, and Avalanche taking on the New Mammoth. Mammoth's first game is against the Avs. Tough first game. Obviously, Caps' next game is, again, from memory, I think it's against the Islanders, but correct me if I'm wrong. Let me quickly have a look. Yes, it is. Saturday night going into Sunday for me, as it is midnight. And then we got Rangers, then Lightning, Wild, and Canucks taking up the next couple of weeks. So we got some good games coming up against some pretty big teams. Obviously, the Islanders will be one to watch for obvious reasons with Matthew Schaefer. Okay. Well, it won't be a second. I'll be right back. I'll be back way before the end of the intermission. Don't worry. Okay, and we are back. Obviously, still in the first intermission here. Not that much going on in terms of stuff to do. Obviously, not got any thing to majorly talk about, but we will see any updates on where we are in terms of how the players are doing. Get it up. Potus has 2 shots on goal. Ovi with 1. Strome with 1. Chikrin with 1. Sordif with 1. Ryan Leonard and Tom Wilson also with 1. So we're doing okay in that department. Obviously, not much else really going on. Thompson's only had to save 4. Obviously, Boston haven't done many shots either. Purely has 2, Zaka has 1, and Lindholm has 1 shot on goal. Swayman being twice as busy so far with 8 saves. But we do go on to the power play as soon as we jump back out here, which will be interesting to see how we do. Obviously, having a bit of time to settle everything down, get everything ready, sort of thing. It'll be interesting to see how we go about this minute 20-ish power play, about minute 15-ish, if I remember correctly. It'll be interesting to see how we do in that. Not sure how long there is left of it, the thing, to be fair. I'll have a check if I can see when they'll be jumping back out on the ice here. At the play-by-play up, see if anything should. I mean, it's currently in terms of penalties. Pasternak has 1. Pasternak jersey right there, by the way, the red one. He's had a penalty on Tom Wilson for hooking. TVR has an interference, which could have gone either way. Surely has interference on Xhaka and then a cross-checking on against Boston on Duhaime. Face-off 54% in face-off for Caps. Nothing going on the power play so far. 10 hits to 13. 5 block shots compared to 1. 2 giveaways compared to 6. 1 takeaway each. Obviously, nothing on the score sheets, but I think we're about to get on the way in the second period here. We'll have 1 minute 13 left on the power play. See if we can use that to our advantage here and get the go-ahead goal against Boston. Obviously, Ovi will be jumping back out on the ice, I'm sure, with probably Chikrin or Carlson, maybe both. Yeah, Ovi's there with Wilson, Carlson, Pierre-Luc Dubois. Oh, and I can't see the number to figure out who's on the left-hand side. D for us there. And TNT's network has fucked up again. They don't know how to keep it going, obviously. Don't know if you can fix it at all. Obviously, on the power play, I do want to watch it. Oh, there is now another penalty. McAvoy tripping on Ovechkin. It is now 5-3, and we can't watch it because TNT are awful at their job. Oh my god. What a joke. We've got a slightly delayed view of it elsewhere that we can watch while we wait for it to play out. So we'll watch this view of it. Obviously, a little bit behind here. Ovi picks it up behind the net where the tripping penalty is, which sends us for a 55-second 5-on-3, which obviously is a huge, decisive moment for the game. Picks it up behind the net. Stick goes under the leg, locks it up a little bit. Fell a bit heavy, but penalty is a penalty. Right. Let's see how they do here. We don't win the face-off, but Chikrin picks it up. Working it. Chikrin thinks about it. Sends it in front for Wilson. He doesn't get the shot off. It gets tipped out of the zone. Wilson working it in. Takes it around the net. Passes it. Carlson to Chikrin. On the goal line. Carlson fires. It goes wide. But we got the other view back now. Back onto 5-on-4 here. Cap's still with it. Protus to McMichael. Chikrin sends it in. Tipped wide. Sandin with it. To Tallboy. Pro. And Boston might have a bit of a rush here. Chikrin gets there in time. They killed off the 5-on-4, 5-on-3, and 5-on-4 again. He had some good looks though. Sends it on Bouvillier, just get tips wide. Two Caps players in front of the net here. We can get one sent in. Turning shot, Lapierre went wide. Bouvillier working. Carlson plays it across to Ferrari. Blocked. Ferrari tries to send it in again. Bobbles over a couple sticks. In front. Backdoor feed, and Bouvillier just can't get it into the... Can't get it on his stick to send it into the empty net. All he had to do was have that on his stick, and it was a sure goal, an empty side of the net, and he just can't pull it home. Sordiff, let's see what he can do. Tripped over. No call. Carlson plays it across. Carlson with it again. Sends it ahead. Intercepted by Boston. Zaka. Arvidsson tries to get the shot off, whiffs it, taps into the corner. And Duhé might have one here. We'll have to pressure Swayman there. Swayman almost had to sort of puts it wide. Duhé there to pick up the empty change. Roy puts one in straight to the chest of Swayman. Shots are now 12-4. Caps not getting anything going in the first little bit. He whiffs on the shot. He whiffed on the shot. It came just off the heel of his stick as he tried to turning one time it. Just can't get it going. That's really unfortunate. Could have easily been one up here. Caps with it. He trips over and it's leaving. It almost led to a breakaway, but Thompson came out to play it. Boston trying to get it out of their zone now. Play up the left-hand side, puts it in. Juicy rebound for Thompson. And he stands up to save it. The rebound came straight into the slot. But he stands up while mid-save, he just stands immediately upwards. Went off the shoulder, which is why it was just a juicy rebound. Couldn't control it very easily. Bit of a snow shower from that, though. Lapierre on the defensive zone draw. Almost got it out the zone. Not quite. Leonard's there to challenge. Again. Chikrin plays it to TVR. Behind the Caps net now. Bouvillier plays it out. Sends it in. Bouvillier chasing. Lapierre. Tried to play it towards the net to him there. TVR to Chikrin. Plays it up. Bobbling puck. We're playing volleyball here. Don't know what happened to that puck. It was bouncing all over the show there. Carlson having to get their first pucks in the corner now. Pasternak goes to try and hit him. Carlson slightly sidesteps the hit. Pasternak getting swarmed in the corner here. Ferrari down on the ice. He tripped and then ended up under a player. Dowd almost ended up in his own bench there. Leaning over it a little bit. And he's got another... he almost got a full break. Swayman had to challenge Dowd there. Almost had a full break. Can't quite put it 5-hole. Very good chance there in close. Had multiple chances to get ahead here, the Caps have, but just can't get it buried. That was 0 for 4 on the power play, which is not ideal, but start of the season, you're going to see it hindered quite a little bit. No one's great at this stage of the season here. It's at 11-16 right now. Shots 13-6. Boston have had 9 giveaways. We've only given up 3. Our next visit. Oh, we've got back-to-back weeks playing Boston. We've got them against. We're playing them in Boston on the 7th of March, and then on the 14th, the week after, we're playing them again in Washington. That is all the games we will play against them there. I'd like to see if the Caps can get a bit of the go-ahead goal here. I feel like we've had the chances, we're just not converting on them, and we need to convert on them. If we're not converting, then we are just going to end up losing this game because Boston will eventually sneak one by. We know what Pasternak, Geeky, Lindholm, all of these players can do. Ovi is 40, entering his 21st season. Oh my god. Got an old guy here. Roy plays it across off the heel of the blade there. And a breakaway for Boston here. Denied by Thompson. Beautiful save there. Arvidsson had a clear break. Plenty of room. Almost the entire zone to himself. LT chance going out here. Ovi digging for it up on the Boston bench. Oh, we do love to see Thompson stop these. Beautiful save there. Ovi 3 goals away here from 900 goals. Caps with it in their own end now. Chikrin plays it up. D plays it into the zone. Boston trying to get it around the net. Big hit by Wilson. And a possible almost ended up with a fight. He's trying to get Wilson to go, throwing him around. Really trying to get him to go there. Boston were not happy with that hit. It was clean, no charging, nothing dirty. Just a clean hit into the boards. Was dragging him around the ice, trying to get Wilson to fight there. Dow's driving it in here. Laser hits behind the Boston net there. Duhaime coming out to help Ferravari on defense. Ferravari's lost his skate blade. Has to go across the entire length of the ice from our defensive zone on the right-hand side all the way to the left-hand side. Hopping all the way over, the strength to do that and the skill to be able to hop that entire way on one skate. Pasta working into the zone now, drops it in front. Caps intercepting it though. Send it all the way down. Boston trying to enter the zone. The Caps come up with it in their own zone. Leonard here. Fancy move. Puts it in on net. Tried to tip it from Lapierre. Just goes wide. Beautiful move there from Leonard. Leonard's getting in front here. Shot comes from Sandin and it's covered up by Swayman. Beautiful play from the really young line here of Leonard and Lapierre. Oh, what a save that was from Thompson before though. Yeah, there's the clean hit by Wilson. I'm not sure how that wasn't then roughing afterwards by the Boston player. Caps Ovi almost co-dragged that for a shot. Play it all the way in. It's actually a shot on goal from our own end. Chikrin plays it in. Beautiful to Ovi. He waits to Strome. He can't get the shot off. Beautiful play from Ovi there. And Chikrin down on one knee. Set that all up. Chikrin, another knee shot and a 3-on-1 for Boston here. Carlson, beautiful by Thompson to get the save there, and it's into the corner. Capsule are back now to help out. In the centre here, everyone's changing on both benches. Almost too many men for both teams there. Lorai tries to get the shot, doesn't get it off, gets another shot and goes into the side of the net, dumps all the way down to the Boston end for icing. Almost this goal of the season from Caps there. Very early in the season and almost still did it. And it ended up with a 3-on-1 going the other way, but shut down by Thompson yet again. Defensive draw though. Tired players on the ice. Boston keep it in the zone. Slap shot blocked by Carlson. Pierre-Luc Dubois gets it out of the zone and it's tipped all the way down the ice towards Swayman. Boston try and play it down. But on the into the zone, Roy deflects the shot up into the netting. Arvidsson's had a few good shots here. Few good chances. Can't get it to go though. A video break to come. What a last few minutes from both teams, especially the Caps here, having so many chances, just can't get one away, unfortunately. So many blocked shots coming from the Caps here as well. Let's have a look. The play-by-play all started with a takeaway, but in fact it started earlier than that. Missed shot from Lapierre turned into a shot on goal from Rasmus Sandin. A whistle for offensive draw. Strome got it to got the take up. Strome won the face off. Chikrin got it away. Almost ended up in a beautiful couple chances. Strome got a shot on. Chikrin got a shot that was blocked, and then it ended up going the other way. Absolute mayhem here in DC. Giveaways 11-3. Boston giving a lot away here. It's good for us, but we need to start converting. We've had the chances. We just can't pull the trigger onto Swayman here. A lot of our shots just aren't. A lot of our chances just aren't. We aren't getting the shot off. We're making the one extra too many passes or trying to do the extra move, which is just not getting us there, unfortunately. We do need to start trying to get something going though. And we'll be getting back into the action here. Defensive draw. Got a third line out here. Sordif, Duhaime, and Dowd with, I think it's Roy and Sandin, I think is the line. Duhaime working it all the way down. Got a hit on McAvoy at the end board. Almost made a turnover. Boston coming back into the Cap zone now. Zaka tries to play it fancy. Sandin comes up with it behind the net. He's getting fought for it though, but he gets it all the way back down the Boston end. Boston get it into the zone. Wilson there to help out the defense. Caps forechecking well here. Wilson taking on 2 Boston players. Crunches him into the boards there. Good defense here from Ferravari, closing down the upcoming forward. Playing very high as a defenseman, but it's working so well. As I say that, a floater goes through, Pasternak sends it in, and he gets the first goal of the season. Pasta puts it into the back of the net. Just talking about how well the defense is, but just a floater. Michael was tied up with Lindholm in the blue paint, and it just sneaks through. Bit of a knuckle. Thompson doesn't know where it is. It hits him. He gets some of it, but not all of it. Even though Washington are leading this game in terms of offense, Caps are now down 1. 7:40 left of the second here. Do not want to start this season with a loss. We know what this team can do. We saw it last season. Winning the Metro and being second in the entire league. Leonard's pushed down here. Not sure if there's a delay penalty coming up here. And as soon as Thompson takes a step onto the bench, it ends up being the linesman was literally sat legs all the way out on the Caps bench there to avoid that. And the power play, the 5th power play here for the Capitals. We really need to get a goal here to get back into this game, because we're dominating, but we don't want to give Boston all the momentum here. Ovi, Strome, Carlson, Wilson, and Pierre-Luc Dubois all on the ice here. Sends it all the way down to Thompson, and we'll get set in our zone. Carlson chops it back to Wilson. Keeps it in, just goes wide of Ovi's stick. He loses his footing. Boston put it back down the ice. Carlson with it, dropping it back again. Goes wide of Pierre-Luc Dubois, but drops it back to Wilson. Stretch pass, Boston with it. Sends it all the way back down yet again. 1 minute 10 left, and we've not even had a shot on goal here. We need to get something going, please, Capitals. A beautiful play here, and Chychrun puts it on all on his own. A beautiful pass straight into the center of the ice, and he just walks through and gets a backhand shot. Doesn't get what he wants with it, though. Offensive draw, a 101 left on the Washington power play. We win the face-off. Chychrun with it. Passes it to Leonard. Leonard's now on the ice. Passes to... Not got Ovi on the ice now. We've switched it up a bit. A shot from McMichael. Blocked. Goes wide. Sandin with it on the boards. Digging in the corner. Is tripping on Sandin there. Nothing called there. Chychrun keeps it in. Leonard takes, shoots, it's loose. And a bit of pushing and shoving in front of the net here. It's hybrid young line here, doing actually really, really well. Leonard almost snuck it by. Swayman didn't actually know where it was for a second. Finds it in front of him and covers it up. Ovi, McMichael, Protus, Strome, Leonard, Wilson. Okay, Ovi back on the ice here. Carlson has Ovi as an option, gets a pass blocked, and it's sent all the way down to the Caps end. 10 seconds left on this power play. We'll see if we can get a last rush into the zone here. Playing it slow though. We'll enter the zone as it runs out. Ovi with it. Shoots. It's robbed by Swayman right in front. Almost had a breakaway the other way from the man coming out the box. Very good. A couple attempts here. Ovi had a very nice shot mid-slot. Just couldn't get it away, unfortunately. Went in the zone here. Bouvillier shoots it on. Not sure if that hit the mask there. Plays it across Ferrari, puts it on, it's blocked. Another shot, stuffing it in, it's into the corner. It kept in the zone though. Boston tried to clear it multiple times, couldn't get it. We're seeing this third, fourth line play here. Lapierre has a little hit onto Pasternak there. Geeky's a bit slow to get up there. Villiers behind the net. Chips it. Glove down by Geeky. Drives it in. It's up on the boards against the Boston's bench here. Roy is tripped up. No call though. And that's going to be interference. Roy just punched him, sucker punched him in the back of the head there. No call on it though. Not sure if they just allowed the retaliation because of what happened moments before. Sends it in front. Another tried to stuff it short side again. Caps with about 3 chances there to get it home. Another one. McMichael drags it wide. Behind the net. To Duhaime, back to McMichael. Tried to keep it in and lose it out of the zone. Michael will play it back here for Sandin. Tips it into the zone behind Swayman. Swayman had to go and play it there because of the Caps forecheck. Offside here for Boston. Zaka just scored offside there, and we go to a commercial break. Caps have had so many opportunities, but they can just not convert. It's really changing it because obviously last year everyone's just trying to get Ovi the puck. They do not care about anything else but getting Ovi that puck. And now we don't need to do that anymore. Ovi's playing a completely different game himself. Everyone's playing a different game. And we need to try and figure out what this team's going to be like, because the way this team heads and the direction we go can depict not only the next couple of years, but the next 10, 15 years with who we pick up, who we trade for in drafts and off-season and at the trade deadlines and after. It can make such a difference depending on how we want to play our game. Obviously, we have our GM who won GM of the Year last year, but his plays can be altered for work, as we've seen last year. In fact, over the last 2 years that we've had him, we saw us not do very well 2 years ago. And then we had such a resurgence with very minimal change is to what we actually do but just finding the players that work, having PLD, having all these big players that haven't worked in other places, and we just brought them over and they've done so well for us. Just need to keep it going here and see if we can get the tying goal here now, here in the second period. Three minutes left on the clock here. Caps come up with it, moving through the central zone. Plays it across the PLD. He puts it around the boards. Boston end up clearing it. Chikrin puts on the brakes there. Trevor works it into the zone. Gets knocked off the puck, but it's still in the zone. Boston working it out now, though. We work out of our zone. Beautiful pass there. The Protus. Got it. Just caught at the blue line. Puts it on net, but it's saved by Swayman. Simon looking like he's going to have a bit of a resurgence. Obviously, didn't do too well last year after getting a hefty paycheck. Just not getting it done. Boston might be in with a... If they can keep going, they might be in with a decent chance of playoffs here. Although the offense does look a bit lackluster still, which is not ideal for Boston. Obviously, losing a few of their big players last year, obviously losing Marchand, who is a playmaker, can get under players' skins. He was a big part, but they're looking for the future now. And they're in a decent spot for it. Ovi puts it on net, bobbling puck. Spin around move. It's under... The glove was on top of McMichael's stick. McMichael was trying to get it free, but I think his stick snapped from the slash from the defender there. Almost actually got it. It was loose, to be fair. I did see it loose there. He got it in. It wasn't immediately covered. Obviously, his stick being stuck under the pad does not help matters when you're trying to get it free. Offensive draw. Austin come up with it and bounce it off the board into the Caps, and Ferrari picks it up in front of LT here. It doesn't quite get out the zone. Another shot on, blocked by Ferrari. Sends it around the boards, picked up again. Caps pick it up now. Carlson gets it out the zone, but takes a bit of a bump. Strom plays it across. Ovi taking a bit of a bump there by Geeky, I think it was, if I'm not mistaken. Shot on net from before the blue line, caught by Thompson. 26 shots on goal here for Washington. Still not got one by. Just need to find that little pocket. Bit of a hit for Ryan Leonard there on the right defenseman. LT taking his time, and we're in the last minute here of the period. Pasternak with it. Plays it across. Backdoor feed. Geeky loses out. He gets hit straight into the boards as well. Behind the Caps net now. Ryan Leonard will play it out. Might be a last rush here. Lapierre with Leonard. Zadorov gets it behind their own net there. Caps with it in the center. And now he'll wind up and dump it all the way around the Boston end. Roy with it on the blue line. Wilson tried to get the one-timer, ends up shooting someone's stick instead. Dumped in 2 seconds now. Tried to wrap it around for a shot in front. And it comes to the end of the second here. 1-0 to Boston. Only 10 shots on net compared to 26. Caps just can't get it done at the minute. Can't find the back of the net. Had the chances. They just can't pull the trigger and find that back door or find a small amount of space anywhere. So they still 0.9 save percentage, but we know he could do better. And I want to see what he's able to do in this season. Obviously, the last preseason games was an outstanding game from him. He looked in mid-season form with how he was playing. But again, it all comes down to how you perform on the day. Not only as a player, but you need the offense as well, and we just don't have the offense going so far. And we'll check the stats for the game so far. Four penalties in the first, 2 in the second. Caps have only had 1 penalty against them compared to 5 penalties against Boston, and we still cannot get it done. For 10 minutes worth of penalties, and we just can't get anything going. We played a quarter of this game so far. Still can't get it by. Face-off percentage 52.4 compared to 47.6. Shots 26 to 10. Hits are 25 each. Block shots. Boston have had a lot of block shots here in the second. They only had a couple after the first. It's now 11 for Boston, only 8 for the Caps. Giveaways 8 for the Caps compared to 12 for Boston. So they're getting more blocks in now this second period, and less giveaways than the Caps in the second as well. We've had some outstanding chances. We've just not been able to find the back door, which is going to end up doing us a lot of damage. OV 14 shifts deep, 13:02 on the ice so far. We'll scroll down to see Tom Wilson has actually had more, 14-14 on the ice here. See about the defenseman. Carlson with 16:53, Chitkin with 15:39 on the ice. DVR's only had 8 minutes. Not sure why when everyone else has had at least 11-12 minutes. But we'll have to see how that all goes. Yeah, Lapierre had a giveaway there just before the end. Got a lot of giveaways was just in the last 2 minutes alone. We had 3 giveaways and a hit in the last 2 minutes. That's all we had on the sheet. But then a couple shots on goal from McMichael and a blocked one from Ovi just before that as well. So just gotta try. We're all over the score sheets in terms of hits and everything like that. We just need to get something more going because what we're doing currently is not enough. We're not pulling the trigger. We're not getting the shots that we want. We're not getting the traffic in front. We want to try and get more traffic in front because we're not getting enough. We're not getting. When we do have the traffic in front, we're not shooting. So we're gonna have to figure that one out. And we are back. We've got about 2 minutes left. Just under 2 minutes until we will be jumping back into the third period here. Caps obviously needing to get another one going here. Obviously being down 1-0 here. We don't want them to get too much ahead, otherwise we will obviously take quite a hindering. We shall see how we do here in the third. Hopefully a bit better than what we were doing earlier. Hopefully we can try and get one past Swayman as well. Swayman's having a good game, but the Caps haven't had a high danger shot, I don't think. We've had quite a lot of stuff-ins and backhand to the chest. We've not had any real test, whereas Boston, we've had better chances. We've had higher danger chances where we've not ended up getting the shot off. And the ones we have got a shot off haven't been that dangerous. The ones that have been dangerous in the game that the shots have actually come off have been Boston shots. They've tested LT a lot more than we've tested Swayman in terms of like having to move around, go cross crease. LT's done a lot more than Swayman has in that aspect. So I'm a bit sweaty. It'll be interesting to see if we can mix something up here in the third. Obviously, I feel like we didn't do as much of that in the second because we started off on a power play and then we had so many power plays. It's just so different to 5-on-5. Obviously, we need to get something done on these power plays because we are basically confirmed to get another power play here. They've had so many. If I have a quick check, they had 3 in the first. They took 3 penalties in the first, 2 in the second. We are almost guaranteed at least 1 here in the third. So we do need to see if we can get anywhere in terms of offense here. Getting some dangerous shots through. Seeing what we can get from it. We'll be jumping out on the ice in a minute. It should be any second now. And here we are. Ovi having a little skate around. Hat trick away from 900. It'll be insane to do it first game of the season, but we all know it's not going to happen. Getting some smelling salts in on the bench there. But 20 goals minimum a season. Wow, those stats. Boston start the period with the puck. Ovi has 2 shots, 1 hit in this game so far. LT getting tested early. Strome trying to work it in here. Boston now working through. A nice move. Takes down Chikrin sliding. Bit of a slippy location on the ice, clearly. Caps just played slow at their end. And we turn back, check Korean. Plays it across. Dumped in towards Swayman. We keep it in. There's a high Boston player, almost in our own zone. He was that far out. Does get cleared all the way down, but Caps with it. Working through center, the Caps. Dumped all the way in. Pierre-Luc Dubois tries to get it. Working with it now. This stream from TNT is absolutely horrendous. Please fix it. Ferrari plays it across. Puts it on a net. Off the back of number 6 for Boston there. Behind the net, tries to stuff it in front. Nice play from Wilson there. And it will change. We'll get a full change for both teams here. Caps with it behind their own net. We play it out. Ferrari taking it through. It's into the corner. Leonard up on the boards. Leonard playing with Dowd and Duhaime now. I think that's playing upper line. I think he's usually with Lapierre. Sordif, I think, is on their line usually. Obviously, they're happy with how he's played this game, so bumping him up, giving them a few extra shifts, clearly. And Roy will wait behind the net for a change. Sundin plays it ahead. Viville almost had a break. A stick just stopped him from a break. Boston coming back the other way. Tried to clear it out. Multiple tip attempts. Doesn't get it out there. Another shot onto LT. It's equal to both of them. Sordif gets it out. Picks it up. Tries to pick it up. Doesn't quite get it. Boston entering the zone now. Shoots, goes wide. Ends up going all the way back down to Boston end from their own shot. But had something on it to go 200 feet back the other way afterwards. Boston dump it in. Cross crease. Another shot comes in. TNT stream dies. Thompson has it, so we're alright. TNT streams are god awful. That's what we've learnt today here. And it stopped again. There we go. 16:32 left of the third here. Not really had any shots from Washington here up earlier. We just need to get something going. A high shot goes miles wide and high. A beautiful play there from Washington to enter the zone. Cross the ice. Puts it in on net. It flecks just wide. Caps working it in their own end. Play it through the middle. And delayed offside. I'm not sure that was offside in the end, but that was the call. Caps working it in the centre here. Sandine sends it all the way down and around the boards. Ends up bouncing off the linesman. Almost had a turnover there. Caps playing slow. Roy off the boards. And the Boston players on their arse. Thompson has it, sent it on him. He don't have it covered, but the Caps help him out. Roy picks it up in the centre. Stays with it, sends it on net, and Swayman saves. Bit of pushing and shoving up in front. Way after the whistle as well. Not sure what they're thinking there. I think it was there's a door off on Duham, pushing and shoving mostly. Ovi's line coming out here against Peaky, Lindholm, and partners. Curly there also. Caps lose face off, but keep it in the zone. Bouncing puck almost had an Ovi shot all alone in front there. Carlson working it with Chikrin behind the net. Bobbling puck. Good pressure there from Strome. Wrestle it behind the net. Tries to put it, centers it. Almost had a 1-T about 5 feet out. Set all the way around the boards. And an offside against Boston. Thompson having some words. Oh, Strome managed to poke it away from the one time. Nice defense from Strome there. Still need to get something going here for the Caps. Not doing enough in the first 5 minutes of the period. Good catch there. Nice poke again by Protas. Paravari with Protas. Interference, but nothing called. Wilson went for a huge hit, ends up missing the man, but takes the stick instead for the hit. He'll hit something, Wilson will. Boston send it through the centre. Sandin puts it around his own net to Roy. Sandin circles, plays it back across to Roy. Stuck in the skates there. Plays it out in front, almost tipped in front. So they've sent it straight towards the net. Bouvillier tried to tip it, couldn't get what he wanted. A high up tip could have ended up spoiling that past him, but it doesn't go, and we'll go to a commercial break yet again.
I hate commercial breaks.
Gives the players a bit more rest, I guess, but breaks the play up too much, and sometimes it can really affect when they do it. If there's a penalty on a play, sometimes you'll end up having a few minutes to actually talk through your power play of when the break comes, and other times you don't. And it can be such a huge advantage if you're on a particularly good bit where you're putting in a lot of pressure, you're putting in all the work, and suddenly, oh, you have to just sit here for 3 minutes. You lose all your momentum. You get the other team able to talk. they can shut down different bits that they've struggled on in the last few minutes that you've been putting all this pressure on. It can make a huge difference. I feel like it should have to be in a certain area, a certain place, with a certain like thing going on for it to actually work. Because I feel like it's having more of an impact than we actually give off. Like, I feel like we don't think about it as much as we should, and it gives actually a bigger impact than what most actually think. And Carlson there. Offensive draw for the Caps. Hopefully we can do something with it. A shot goes on. Tried to go across the crease. And kept it in and then immediately lost it out the zone. Caps cycling it well here. Plays it into the middle. A shot from Tom Wilson, and he ties it up. Tom Wilson, take a bow. Took 28 shots. No, 29th shot for Thompson to put it in. I didn't get to see it the whole play. It went around and tried to take it around. It bobbled up in front. Stuck in his skates, and he just puts it across the net. Swayman didn't know where the puck was looking around him for it. And Wilson just puts it into the top left, and Wilson takes the first goal of the season for the Capitals. It's a 1-1 game with 12:53 left in the third. Thompson will cover that dumping up. 29 goals on the season now. 180th career goal there for Tom Wilson. Obviously had his best season last year, scoring 30 plus goals, the first time he's ever done it. We'll see what comes of this. We needed that. We've been struggling to get anything going in terms of dangerous shots. It's taken Wilson 3 shots to get that through, and penalty coming against the Capitals instantly. It was a wide open net. Wide open net at the back. Carlson's not sure it was a penalty. Whoa. A right hand on the arm for a couple seconds was enough for a holding penalty. That's a very, very weak call. Geeky just fell like a sack of potatoes there for absolutely no reason. I would have stayed on my feet from that. I don't know what Geeky's doing there and what the refs are calling, but that was not a penalty. If anything, it was embellishment on Geeky's end. Horrendous referee there. Horrendous call, and Boston end up getting a power play because of it. Caps come up with it, send it all the way down, killing a good 15-20 seconds off here now. They don't enter the zone until 18 seconds later. Pasternak sends it across to Lindholm and puts it into the net. Great pass into the mid slot. And a very, very rough penalty ends up with Lindholm potting it into the net. Thompson had absolutely no chance. A player coming straight across the crease with the puck. No one in front. pulls it across, puts it on the backhand as Thompson is sprawling out. Under the glove over the pad. Thompson almost had it, just not quite enough. Little bit too high his glove, and he would have saved it if it was any lower. And literally 25-30 seconds later, Boston are back up 2-1 from a horrendous call from the referee. If you're calling that sort of penalty, you gotta call embellishment on Geeky as well. Should have at least been a 4-on-4. And Boston sent it all the way down. Chikrin asked for Thompson to play that one, ends up getting there anyway himself. Chikrin just breaking the ankles of the forechecker there. Protus working through the centre, dumps it into the corner. And a offside there for Boston. Horrific call there. Has turned this game around just like that. $11:25 to now tie this up. Not a lot of time, but we'll make it work. We are the Washington Capitals. We are the Washington Capitals. Michael trying to get it out there. Sundin picks it up, plays it up to Roy. And we'll enter their zone here. Deflected shot goes wide. Keep it in the keeps it in the zone for a second, but Boston still get it all the way down. Sundin with it behind the net. Plays it up. Michael tips it in. Almost, that could have been a turnover easily, quite there. Carlson getting his body in the way there. Strome working with it. Almost too many men for the Caps there. Shot goes wide for Boston. Boston really getting into the game now. They had a very rough first half of the game, even halfway through the second they were struggling, and now they're really pushing this with a 1-goal lead. And a beautiful pass. Oh, beautiful pass straight in the high slot, and he just breaks his stick. Pasternak puts a shot on. It's deflected wide of Thompson. Could have had a beautiful shot in there. Another shot comes in from Boston. Flagged down and gloved by Lindgren. Oh my God, the last 10 minutes has really put a spanner in the works. Caps should not have taken that penalty. It should have been at least 4-on-4 if you're calling that as a penalty. A small little grab for 2 seconds is not going to affect anything, even in that sort of play where he was moving back anyway. It wasn't going to make that much difference. It has to be an embellishment on that call, and there wasn't. He just dropped like a sack of potatoes. People saying interference on that goal. I don't think it was. The opponent player sort of pushed him into it, so People saying that just don't seem to have much of a brain. We have now fallen short on the face-offs. We were like up to like 54%. We're now down to 48.1%. Obviously, Boston now 50% on the power play. Hits a 31 to 32. Perhaps only one less. Shots blocked. Boston now 15. Giveaways 13 for Caps, 16 for Boston. Takeaways 3 for Caps and 2 for Boston. Kings getting ready to face off against Vegas here in around 10 to 20 minutes once they actually get out on the ice. .946 here left in the third. Boston 2-1. Boston coming up with it. Tries to put it out in front. A shot for a rebound. And Caps working through the centre here. The third line working hard for this. In the feet of a load of people here. Boston working through the centre now and a hit onto Geeky there. Leonard with Wilson. Wilson's now on the floor. Hit in front. Roy on Pasternak in front of the Caps bench. Dowd taking on the Boston player there. Sandin working through centre. Tries to get it into the Boston zone. Big hits for Leonard. Lorai is just put straight into the boards with a huge hit for just on his second year now. Only played a few games in last year. Rookie is playing very well. Really gotta get something going here though. We're not getting enough offense at all. We need to start getting set, start getting some nice cross-crease passes, connect the passes, get the shots off. Shots are 30 to 15 for Washington, but they've scored 2 compared to our 1, so our twice their shots has not resulted in twice the goals here. In fact, the complete opposite way. Boston trying to put it in here. Chikrin with it. It'll play slowly behind the Caps net with Carlson. Chikrin puts it in. Picked up by the Caps. Working with it. Puts it on net. It's deflected wide. 6'5" Protus there, looking like an absolutely unit. Another shot in. Protus really getting in the heads of the Boston players by standing in front of Swayman here. The big build is just doing a lot for us in front of their net. Just need to try and get the shots to work with it to get anything going. Leonard plays it across to Ovechkin, wrists it in straight into the chest protector of Swayman. Beautiful pass from Leonard there, across the ice, on the backhand, past 2 Boston players. Tried to pull it into the top of the net there. Tried to roof that one, Ovi did. Caps come up with it. Ferravari puts it on, goes wide. Sandin tries to keep it in, doesn't quite get there in time, and they'll reset. Try and get back in the zone here. We'll dump it in. Sandin tries to play it back in. A 2-on-1. The Caps need to get back here. And Link Thompson just gets a bit of a... Doesn't quite get all of it, but covers any rebounds enough. Ferravari just locking up. Number 47 there, stopping the pass completely with Sandin. And don't know who else it was helping to shut down the one player with the puck. Roy really working that player up in front. McAvoy wrist it right. Roy really working on number 71 here. Lapierre comes back to help out, and Sordif helps him to get it out of the zone. All the way into Boston's end now. Lapierre with a hit. Shots 32-17, 6:10 left in the third here. We'll get a change. Gotta get something going here. Faster applying pressure there. Trickrin really working it here. Playing it all the way around the boards. And he falls over. Wilson falls over there. Wilson almost picks it up in the slot there again. Lindholm on the right side here. Puts it into Thompson, who saves it. Not much left in this game, 5:40, and we need a goal ASAP. Had a rough third period here. Don't want to give him anything more. Tom Wilson with our only goal so far from a Chikrin, and Protus with the second assist. Pasternak with a goal and an assist on the second goal here as well. Assist and then a goal, sorry. I think it... Oh wait, no. It was a goal and an assist. Zadorov, Geeky, Pasta and Zaka with assists. Lindholm, Pasternak with the goals. Early penalty was the John Carlson on Geeky, which I don't agree, but if you're going to call that, you have to call embellishment. With the way he fell, is just, yeah. No one being held for a second or two on the wrist, which didn't really affect him at all, is not going to make you just fall like a sack of potatoes. Anywhere in at any level, you can do that with my grandma, and nah, she'll fall over even looking at the ice. Or just adjust this mic very slightly here. A view of Ovi there on the bench. 3 shy of 900 goals, 9 points shy of 1,500 points. I think that stat said. 5:30 left as we in their zone behind the net. Play it back around, cycling it well. Leonard puts it on, or bounce off a few players there. Was on there. Leonard with it at centre ice, plays it all the way down and around the boards. Dowd with it, plays it back to Ferravari, puts it in and a tip. Swayman fell over and the puck ends up hitting him as he falls. half a second later, and that's in the back of the net. Oh my god. That was their chance there. Saw if working down here with Ovechkin. Saw if Strome and Ovechkin. Yeah, Ferravari tipped it onto Dowd, who hit the toe of the left pad, the top bit. Oh, that almost went in. But it's not across the line. And then it's knocked off. Protus is just too big. Knocks the net off its hinges, pushes it back there though. Um, and the Caps send it in. Protus working with Strome to try and get it. Chikrin on the board. It's bobbled up in the air. Spinning shot by Protus. Ovi working big hit on the boards there. Plays it in front. Chikrin with it. Sends it on net. It's bouncing in front. It's not covered. Still loose. It's still in the zone. And it bounces off the defender and goes back into the Caps end. Everyone was in on that play. All but Chikrin was literally in the crease there for the Capitals. Almost stuffed it at home. Leonard tried to drag that. Went wide, and it goes all the way back down to the Caps end. Thompson holds it, plays it behind his net for Bouvillier. Pasternak's really showing his speed here. Bouvillier dumps it in. Gives chase. No icing. Caps tipped it. 3 minutes now. Caps put it in their own zone. Bouvillier works it through, dumps it again. Goes for a change. Pierre-Luc Dubois working in a huge hit from Wilson. Whoa. One of the hits of the season so far, right there. Possibly a top 10 contender by the end of the season. There is a helmet from Boston on the ice here. A 3-on-2 though, coming the other way for Boston. Shot straight into the pads of Thompson, and there's a bit of a scuffle behind the Caps net there. Huge hit, took his head off Wilson straight through the body. Time and ice for Wilson, 1954. 3 shots, 4 hits, that being one of them, and the goal for the Caps. Chatting with Zadorov on the bench there. Not sure if something's being called here. Everyone's just sat waiting. And they're trying to stop the chirping, I think. Ooh, I like this play. Still waiting to play this. We've put in 3 centermen onto the ice to make sure we win this face-off so we can try and jump the gun and people can get kicked. And we win the face-off clean first try. We'll get all the changes that we want early. Pierre-Luc Dubois almost had it in on his own there, but lost it off the end of his stick. Drone battling with Pierre-Luc Dubois there. I don't mind who's on the ice now. I've shot all the way from the other end, goes all the way down to Thompson who covers it. And it's just going to be a chasing game, dumping it in now for the last 2 minutes, 1 second here of this hockey game. Still need to get a goal here. Don't think Boston are going to let us do anything though. I'm not sure we're going to get much time out of our zone. They're getting ready for to swap the goalie for Ovi here. We don't win the face-off, but it's sent down the center. Caps get it back in their zone now, and we'll take it behind. We'll play it slowly here with LT running towards the bench. 6-on-5 for the last 1 minute 40 here. Ovi plays it in. Strome behind the net. Plays it round. Carlson winds up. The stream's gone black. No. I swear to God if this has gone in. I swear to God if this has gone in. It's not gone in, but it's going around the net. There's multiple chances. It's been sent all the way down the ice to the Caps side. 104 left. I think we had like 3 shots on goal there. Again, a little bit of a view. A beautiful tip-tap-toe play. It bobbled up around the air everywhere. Oh, like 3-4 chances. Zadorov headed that puck away from the net there, which is allowed as long as it's not going in. There has to be a high stick from someone there. We're really dragging out every second we can to get these guys the rest for the last minute 4. Timeout called for the Caps. Wilson, Chikrin, Dubois, Ovi, Carlson, and I'm assuming Strome is going to be out here. Yeah, Strome as well. The big boys are on the ice here. I think the average is like 6'2", 6'3" between them. We got some big guys out on the ice, huge guys. .64 seconds left. Huge offensive draw. We need to win this draw here. Otherwise, it's going to be a 1 rush and that's it. Big face-off here to come. Both need to win this face-off. And it's tied up. They don't win it. And Geeky just puts it into the open net. I would have put Thompson at like the blue line there. Got someone ready to jump out just in case so we can confirm possession before. Pasternak to Geeky puts it in, and it's a 3-1 game, and Caps will not be winning this one unless some miraculous 2-goal stint in the last 57.1 here. Caps keep the net open is what it says. I don't think that's right though. Yeah, it's not right. It says it though. Stone working it through. Dumps it in. Puts it on net. It's blocked. And it's dumped all the way down. Icing as Thompson is out the net. 30.3 left. Gonna take one more shot at it to try and get another one. Not an ideal start for the Caps, but we got stuff to work on. We win the face-off. Carlson tipped, goes up into the netting there. 25.5 left here. Not the start we wanted here for the Caps, but it's the start we have, unfortunately. Boston looking like a contender here. Just need to clean up a few things up themselves. Another shot from Strome there, dangerous. Tic-tac-toe, bit of a play there, but it's blocked. Caps come up with it again, they lose it though. And Chickroom will keep it here. Try and get one more rush. Protus plays it back to Strome, pulls it across. Another shot. Almost had another like 3 shots on goal there, but don't get it by, and that'll do it. Caps with 35 shots. Swayman putting on a performance here with 34 saves. Not an ideal start here for the Caps. We've got the players. We just need to figure out our lines a little bit more, I feel. Get this going a little bit more here. We know what the Caps are capable of. We know what each player is capable of. Just need to clean up some bits. Try and play it a little bit more. There's quite a few polls that did not look at all correct. There's at least 1 or 2 interference penalties that Boston should have had. That's the second goal for Boston. That should have been at minimum a 4-on-4, if not a penalty at all. Not a great performance here on the referees, but we have to do with what they say, and we end up losing here 3-1. To be fair, it was a 2-1 game, realistically. Empty netters don't really mean anything for us here. 3 stars of the game. Wilson, Pasta, and Swayman there. Swayman with a 971 save percentage. Pasta with a goal, 2 assists for 3 points. Wilson with a goal and like 4 hits, I think it was. We ended up coming back on the face-off. We ended up finishing with 35 of 68. Well, 34 of 68. They've just altered it. We were exactly 50-50 on the face-offs here. Exactly 50-50. Hits were 37 for the Caps, 34 for Boston. 11 block shots compared to 23 for Boston. Ooh. Giveaways 15 for Caps and 19 for Boston. Takeaways 3 apiece. Could have easily won that game if a couple calls went a bit more our way. and we had so many opportunities to put it in the back of the net, and we just did not convert at all. It just ended up severely changing the outcome of this game, but there's not anything we can do about that. That is how the game goes sometimes, and that'll be it here. Other scores around the NHL. Let's have a quick look. Leafs versus Canadians. And the Leafs win it. 5-2 here. It looked like quite a close game as well over there. It was 1-1 after a couple, then 2-2 midway through the second from what I saw. Obviously, Knights versus Kings and Flames versus Oilers coming up very, very soon. Was supposed to start 15 minutes ago, although doesn't seem to have got there yet. But that will do it here for this stream. It's been a good stream. We've had I think about 8 people watching. No one really talking there, but hey ho, it's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. But that will do it here today for this stream. I think our next game is, let me check real quick. Our next game is Saturday night, Sunday midnight for me. So it's only in a couple of days against the Islanders. So that'll be a game to look forward to. But we will have a video up tomorrow. Well, on the 10th, on the Friday. Tomorrow for me, technically, as it's 3 a.m. for me now. But yes, thank you all for tuning in today. Don't know how long this stream has ended up being. I think it's 2 hours 43 here, so just shy of 3 hours, so quite a decent stream. Obviously, some of them will be longer than that if we hit overtime or further. But thank you all for watching. Oh, so let's move that. Sorry for that for the end of it, but it's fine. It's not really gonna affect the stream anyway, when realistically not many people look after. But with that being said, thank you all for watching today. It's been a good stream so far. We can see how the Caps are going to be going in the season. I feel like we're going to be second or third in the Metro by the end. I think that the Carolina Hurricanes are going to run away with this season. Like, they picked up some huge guys in the off season, and it's going to really help them, especially in postseason, because I've had 3 back-to-back conference finals, and they've only had 1 win in them through 3 years out of a possible up to 21 games, and they've only forced it to